Anyway, good morning. For a long time, I didn't test the audio visual stuff on the webinars, and I would go like 10 minutes without showing my charts. Okay, there is a major risk warning. All trading involves a substantial risk of loss. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. Okay, there's a big doc of links. It's links to lessons, indicators, and more. A lot of you are asking about the TradingView indicators. I have a call scheduled to get the lowdown on what's going on with those indicators. In the meantime, thanks for your patience and get to that doc of links. Okay, it's February 11th. We're going to look at UVXY, Verizon, TLRD, and all of our open trades. And we're going to scan for some insider stuff. Next week on the 20th and 21st, I'll be in Washington, D.C. to support my friend Roger Stone as he is sentenced and maybe then pardoned. I don't know. I know he's not a perfect guy. I know he's made a lot of mistakes. But he's grown to be a friend of mine, and so I will be there in court with him and his family. So you might see me on TV. I'm also trying to get on Tucker Carlson that night, see if I can get myself on television talking about him. So I'll take some pictures for you and whatnot. On the 20th and 21st, Scott Welsh will run those webinars as I will be unavailable at that time. And then we're having open office hours on April 9th and 10th in the Woodlands, Texas, all day on the 9th and then half day on the 10th. So if you arrive on the evening of the 8th or the early morning of the 9th, you'll be good. And you could leave on Friday the 10th in the afternoon if you want, because the airport's just about 30 minutes away from the Woodlands. All right, I did a scan for insiders. We're going to look at that in a minute. I'm not going to really do much training today. I'm still getting, I can't believe this last month. The flu, my wife had surgery, my poor dog broke her leg and everything. I mean, just, oh my gosh, I'm so excited for things to get mostly back on track. So anyway, so Kevin, on a side note, Tucker. So I worked on the Dick Gephardt campaign in 2004 on behalf of a friend. I went to Iowa for the caucuses, and I was on my way down the elevator after meeting with some union representatives or something like that. And Tucker Carlson was getting on the elevator, and I rode with him, and he was wearing his old bow tie or whatever. And anyway, I always remember him. I know he doesn't know anything about me, but I'm still definitely trying to get on that show. Okay, so Alan, I will look at JCI right now for you, and then we'll get on to the rest of our stuff today. So this is a bullish trend, and there's two bullish profit circles. This is a bullish trade. If you're in a very significant and clear uptrend, and then you relax a bit, and you see it drop, and then you get two profit circles, that's a buy trade. Look at GLD. Look at GLD correctly. So it was in an upward trend. It printed the bearish profit circle. It drifted lower. It printed two bullish profit circles, and then it went up. So that's a real thing. That's definitely a reasonable technique. And there we go. Okay, I do want to scan through all of our open trades. So if we could take a minute here and look at UVXY, it opened lower today. I'm still in the trade, and I'm still willing to lose $1,000. I don't have anything else to say about this. There's nothing else I want to talk about as far as this is concerned. It's not what I would like, but I don't care, and I'm perfectly fine with this. I want to look at a couple of other ones though. We took Verizon. Verizon is up today, even though the Sprint T-Mobile merger has been approved. Back in August, I think one of my first monster trade recommendations was to buy Sprint on the thought that the merger would be approved, but the option expired too early. I thought that Verizon might drop on news of the merger going through, and it did kind of briefly, but I'm still happy to be in the $60 puts that expire in April. I'm not changing anything about that trade. I'm in TLRD, Tailored Brands. Not only are insiders in this trade, but it's got 43,000 bullish profit circles. And that's pretty awesome. I want to stay in this trade. I'm happy to be in this trade. I own, what do I own? We can look at yesterday's update, or we can just look at this one. I own the $4 calls that expire in May. I'm also in a trade on Sony. Sony printed 3 bearish profit circles and bearish divergence, and I love it. There's a lot of indications that some of these trades that we took are going to do pretty well if we just give them some time. I'm in VBTX. I think of all of them recently, this is the one that's disappointed me the most. I really thought this would start to move. Mark, I'm going to stay in. I have no trouble at all staying with this trade. And I'm going to hold this, and I've still got a little alert at 27.63. Reminds me, I need to put one of these alerts on Sony. No wonder it didn't fall. I didn't add an alert. For those of you that don't know already, I get a little superstitious, and when I take a trade, I like to put an alert where the trade would start to go profitable. And then I have this superstition that by putting it there, the trade will become profitable. We talked about ONTX yesterday. It's up to 60. It was up to 69 cents pre-market. And we'll see if it opens that high. If it opens that high, our trade is doing really well, and it will be super overbought. So, folks, I think if you took a bunch of shares, if you bought a bunch of these shares, I'm not going to close my trade right away, but I think it would be reasonable to start to close down that trade because we are getting really close to that missed monthly pivot from November. All right? I think it could go higher, but you could take half the profit off the table and let the stop loss go to break even and go from there. But if it's up to 69 cents in pre-market. So yesterday we talked about the fact that they were in danger of possibly being delisted. What's probably happening is executives are probably trying to get this stock up to and over $1 to keep that from happening. And so it's all just helping us with our trade. I don't really want to or need to look at a lot else. We've already kind of taken a look at a bunch of other stuff. I'm happy with everything else we have. I didn't draw a down arrow either. Jeff, you're so right. I know it sounds superstitious and crazy, but if it's worked for me, there we go. That's the way to do it. So we're 1 minute away from the market open, and I have a new list of insider companies I want to work through. And I think all of them may end up being complete garbage, and that's fine. Good morning to Tom. Thank you so much for being here. And here we go. I do think I'm still in a pound yen trade. I think I am, Allie. Let's take a look. Yep, I'm still short pound yen. We'll take a look at those as well today. All right, the market's open. I do want to look at ONTX at the market open. Yep, it jumped open 70 cents. That trade is up really nicely. I own 2,000 shares, so it's up $812. I see no reason why you wouldn't think about taking half of your profit off the table on that. Wow, I even got the alert. Pretty cool. Okay. So today, I did a scan on Open Insider, and here's the scan I did. I went to the top of the page by symbol, and I looked at insider purchases of penny stocks, and I thought that was interesting. And it pulled up this really interesting list of super low priced stocks. And look at some of these, 67 cents. This group of people bought 7.5 million shares. Didn't cost, didn't cost but $5 million each. Pretty crazy, right? So I thought, wow, what if we could take a look at all of these and maybe get a better idea of maybe if any of these on the first page of penny stocks, maybe some of these would be worth taking a look at. So I plugged all of these into my list. I put all of them inside of my insider watch list. So here's the penny stock that everybody bought. Let's see what date did they buy them? The 24th of January. They all bought a ton of these at 67 cents. Is this true? Wait a minute. How's that even possible that they did that? It's crazy. The 28th was when it was reported. Look at all those shares. So that's already jumped. And look at how much that jumped. That's crazy. I don't know how they were able to buy those shares for 67 cents. That doesn't make any sense to me. Okay, AIRI. And now we're just going to walk through this list. I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. I probably wouldn't trade that one either. This one's interesting, but not a lot of volume, so probably not going to do that one. This is interesting, ARTW, not a lot of volume again. Oh, wait, AXLA. Laurent Chardonnay bought shares at $4.94, but not really that many for only $14,000. That does not seem like a substantial bet. That's not enough for me. That doesn't have enough volume. That penny stock doesn't have enough volume. So a lot of these you could see it's just garbage when you don't include some other criteria. Cannabis Sativa Incorporated. That's a pretty crazy name. That's got enough volume, but it's already moved. Ceres. I can't even pronounce these names. CV Sciences. No divergence there, but that's a lot of movement lower. Let's see what this is. CVSI. How much of this was purchased? A director purchased 26,000 shares. That's just not a significant amount of money. DPW. Somebody bought 660,000 shares. Wow. So that's a 10% director or whatever, investor owner. DRRX. Emma. GRWC. That's an interesting looking chart. GRWC. The chief whatever, I don't know what the COB is. CFO bought a million shares. Wow. For 5 cents. Wow, big spenders, huh? Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't put too much effort into this one. I mean, I don't even know if you can buy this on most of the platforms, but that's a 5-cent stock, 71,000 shares. I won't buy this personally, but I think I'm gonna delete almost every single one of these that's on the list. But if I were in your position over there, or in a $1,000 account or whatever, I'd buy 1,000 shares of this. It has been known to go from 6 pennies to 25 cents. So I don't have any problem with that. It's kind of a bummer that there's not more volume. I would take it myself. I just don't want to affect anything. Once again, I think Grow Capital is a buy. And I think it's a buy at 5.5 cents easily. I think it's an easy decision to make because it's so inexpensive and it has had the potential to jump substantially in the past. Here is INO, already jumped. It's interesting. KZR, don't know what this company does. Life Sciences. Starting to move. Wow, that's actually moved a lot. Lone Star Resources. Tiny divergence. A tiny bullish divergence on loan. Chief Operating Officer Barry Schneider, for $2.19, bought 5,000 shares. Nah, you're not a big spender. You can just go suck an egg. Little divergence on Martin Midstream Partners, MMLP. The VP, president, the CEO. Oh, these guys are spending some significant amounts of money. $250K. So MMLP. Nice going, everybody. I kind of like this one. What's our average volume here? 173,000. I could buy some of that. What did these folks buy it at? $4.51, $2.50. Yeah. I'm game for that. Totally down for that. Jeff asked yesterday, I think it was Jeff, what would be the criteria for adding it to your small account? This is a great example of one that I would add to my small account. It's deeply oversold. It's bullish divergent. We've had 2 bullish profit circles in the past. We've got an insider spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy shares. It has in the past responded reasonably well to divergences. It's been beaten down. I'll give you that. It has had trouble recovering in the past from some of these downward movements. But in a smaller account for $2.50, I'd buy 10 shares. That wouldn't bother me at all. Give it a chance. Once again, I can stop out of that if I want at any time. Looks like they even have options. Buy 1,000 shares of that. How many shares did the CEO buy? 100,000 shares. Yeah, seems like a reasonable number. Yeah, we'll see if that gets filled. I don't mind being long this one at all. $255 or so. We'll see if it gets filled. I haven't gotten an alert that it got filled. Okay, I got an alert that I got filled. So I'm in that. And then there's NLS here at the bottom. That's already gone up. NOG, OSMT, PBI. This is an interesting looking one as well. $3.93 a share. I wonder what kind of insider purchases were made here. Oh, Pitney Bowes. Wow. I didn't know Pitney Bowes was a penny stock. 10,000 shares for $39,000. Doesn't count. It's not enough. Pure Circle Limited, trading for $131 $8. I don't know what that is. That something looks weird there. And then RMBL, Rumble on, e-commerce. Yeah, that looks like an interesting chart. Has it ever responded to any bullish signals at all, or does it just fall forever? Let's see how many purchases there were. $114,000 worth. That's not some small amount. Yeah. Wow, look at all the other people buying shares of this thing. And they bought at all kinds of numbers. Interesting. So these are all the insider purchases in green. Insiders have in the past purchased before an upswing. They haven't been totally wrong every time. That's another one I would totally consider, especially trading for 50 cents. I mean, it's another Jeff. These are so suitable for a small account. So Fritz or Jeff, these are really easily justifiable trades for a small account because the stocks are so inexpensive. The insiders have had a history of doing reasonably well when they buy the shares. So for me, it makes sense to give those a chance. I'm going to delete all the ones that really didn't produce much of a signal and leave the ones that kind of did. So I like being long 1,000 shares of MMLP. I don't know why NLS. Oh, NLS was on this list because we liked it because it jumped up, came back down, and jumped up a bit more. So I'm still good there. And then I like Rumble On. I think if you combine the insiders with the fact that it's trading at a massive discount, combined with the fact that I can put this arrow on the chart here, and that's, pretty much guarantees that it goes up. Yeah. So I look at average volume here on TradingView right here on the right side. Alvaro say, would you buy the options of these cheap stocks? If they're inexpensive, I would just buy the stocks themselves. Yeah. And Fritz, let me know the broker that you're using again so I can get a list of stocks that they have on their platform that are available to you. Because we'll have plenty of choices. That won't be a problem. Let's see what happened to Sprint this morning. Yeah, Sprint's look at how far up Sprint went. Wow, there's got to be some people that owned some call options on Sprint that were very happy. I'm not going to spend a lot of time calling attention to the fact that there was bullish divergence and a bullish profit circle right before the move upward, because there was also the same thing back in October. So, not really, nothing I can really brag about. We certainly didn't take this together. And, I didn't even think to look at it yesterday. Maybe it crossed my mind, a couple days ago, but it's a pretty crazy move right there. I really thought that might bring Verizon down a bit. Oh, okay. Verizon is, okay, it is responding a bit. I mean, it represents a substantial competitive and, an entry into the competitive landscape of the, mobile phones and, cell phone service. It's hard for Sprint and T-Mobile to compete with Verizon and AT&T on their own, but together, that's a pretty substantial competitor. All right, I got my alert in, so I'll get a notification when Verizon starts to drop like a rock, which seems like it should be doing any day now. Okay, I want to take a look at the full currency market today. We haven't done that in a while, and we're going to give it the attention that it deserves. So I look for the same setups in the currency market that I do in the stock market. I look for those divergences and those profit circles. It's always better to have more than one profit circle. It's always better. In the currency market, sometimes I might accept one if I don't have two, but I'd rather see two. This is the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and you'll see that over the course of the last couple of months, we got the divergence and we got two bullish profit circles spread pretty neatly apart. Yesterday, I interviewed a guy from Israel who owns a prop trading firm type company. Really liked him. Gil Ben Hur from the company Fivers, the five percenters, the fivers.com. And I really liked their business model. For $400, you get access to $10,000 in trading capital. And once you make it through the initial period, you get $40,000 in trading capital. And I really liked their business model. I really liked my conversation with him. But he just totally spent like half the time we were together criticizing chart patterns. And I was like, man, what does it matter to you if somebody uses a chart pattern? Like, don't you have anything better to do other than criticize chart patterns? Anyway, this is what I showed him. I was like, this is the kind of trade that I consider to be a perfect trade. Bullish divergence, bullish profit circle, shoulder, head, shoulder. He goes, oh yeah, I like the head and shoulders pattern. I like the Quasimodo pattern where the right shoulder is deeper or bigger. I'm like, okay, so we do like chart patterns now. Hypocrite. Anyway, I really like the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, and I think it's probably heading up to the missed monthly pivot from December. I love that. I'm not in this trade right now, and I'm probably not going to get in this trade, but I still like that one a lot. This is the Australian dollar, US dollar. I'm not going to get in this one either. It's just not enough. Yeah, not enough of a setup here for me to be interested. Same for Canadian dollar, Swiss franc, and the same for Canadian dollar, Japanese yen. And here we have the Swiss franc, Japanese yen. Bearish divergences, bearish profit circles, and then a pretty steep drop. And now we're looking at, I think, the possibility that we drop from here. I think all the yen pairs, Swiss yen, Euro yen's already started to break. Pound yen already started to break. I think these are all headed lower, and deeply so. And you might think, all right, well, maybe I'll spread my risk out a little bit. Maybe you take a Swiss yen and a pound yen. That's not a bad idea. I would short Swiss yen on a break lower than this trend line that we see on the chart, or a move below 112. Euro Australian, Euro Canadian, Euro Swiss. The euro is just getting hammered. I wouldn't buy the Euro Swiss right now. Euro pound, so bullish, the Euro pound, those bullish divergences, multiple bullish profit circles. Still think this is a buy trade. I'd say now it's worth buying above 85.40. Euro New Zealand. We had a buy trade down there on that second bullish profit circle. That looked real nice. That did a nice job. Euro Swedish krona, bullish divergence, 2, 3, 4 bullish profit circles, and then a move up. That was beautiful. Thanks, Fritz. I'll look at Saxo Bank and see what they have. The euro is just getting shellacked, but be on the lookout here. In the next week or so, we could find the euro producing a spectacular buy trade. All the pound pairs to me just look like either weak or ready to drop. Not necessarily any signals that I could depend on. Pound dollar, I think you mentioned, Ali, that you're short pound dollar. I like that short trade. New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollar, don't see anything. New Zealand yen, don't see anything. New Zealand dollar, US dollar. Looks like it's just about to print a bullish setup. Turkish lira, Japanese yen looks bullish. You get paid some significant interest on that too. I'd buy this right now. I will buy this right now. I'm sure the leverage is just super bad. Here we go. TRYJPY. I'm not going to buy 20,000 units. I'll buy a mini lot and take profit at 18.48. Fine, I'll just open the trade. How's that? Okay, I'm long Turkish lira, Japanese yen. Bullish divergence, bullish profit circle, missed pivot points above, and I get paid interest to hold the trade. US dollar, Canadian dollar looks like it could print a bearish profit circle and fall. US dollar, Swiss franc looks bullish, not in a trade. Dollar yen doesn't look bullish or bearish to me. Dollar Mexican looks super bullish. Oh my gosh. Doesn't that look like that could jump significantly? Maybe on a break above a trend line? Norwegian krone, Swedish krone, dollar Turkish lira, South African rand looks bearish. And the South African rand, Japanese yen looks bullish. Not that we ever trade that, or would. All right. That's all I got right now. Euro, New Zealand. Remember, I'm just looking for the same thing every time. Is there bullish divergence in a bullish profit circle? No. Is there bearish divergence in a bearish profit circle? No. So then I have no opinion. So it makes it real simple for me. I don't have to even think about it because it's just not doing anything that I would even recognize as a setup. Which makes it simple. I mean, and then if you were to ask me, I'm in a trade, what should I do? My answer would be, I don't know, because I don't have any bias on a direction. So if I were profitable in a buy trade, I'd be thrilled. And if I were unprofitable in a sell trade right now, if it hadn't reached my maximum loss, I wouldn't touch it. All right, I'm going to be feeling better soon, for sure. So I'll see you again tomorrow. I'm going to do some short coaching lessons for you, hopefully today. I'll talk to you soon.